We've got something brand new on the shelves for you guys. These are the all new subtle handheld Ghost FX filters. The difference between the OG classic handheld Ghost FX filters and these new subtles are basically that they are half the strength. So in these 100mm versions, you can see the difference between the thickness of the glass. It produces the same effect, just obviously the classic Ghost FX filter is gonna have a stronger effect. The subtle essentially just means half strength. So you can expect this effect to have half the strength on the subtle side. So same thing with the 150mm bigger versions. You can see the thickness in the glass. The subtle handheld Ghost FX filters is thinner, it's lighter. It's gonna produce the same type of warping effect, but it'll have a more subtle nature and look to that effect. And that's really the difference between them. So you could expect just like kind of like a full strength and a half strength. And why you would use one over the other is these smaller 100mm ones are maybe better for a photographer on the go that has a smaller camera and lens setup, or even a videographer shooting music video. If you have a smaller setup, these are smaller, lighter, they take up less space, and you can get the same effect without having to carry around this massive piece for a small camera and lens setup. Where you would use the bigger one is if you have a bigger camera and lens setup, cinema setup, this is gonna allow you to cover more of that lens and setup, dodge it more, sneak it in without, using the smaller one. You can see that it almost barely just covers the width of this lens. And so that's why if you have a bigger setup, I would aim to use the bigger 150mm versions. If you're shooting with something that's a little bit smaller, that's where the 100mm versions come into play. So yeah, that's the difference kind of between all of the strengths and sizes. These are now in stock and shipping. Handheld Ghost FX filters from Prism Lens FX.